Like you said, my name is Jared Allen. I'm with BullyBag and Tool Company. We're based out of Kansas City. Somewhere around 2009, I was on my way, and I was in the midst of what's now known as the Great Recession. And I found myself in Midland, Texas. If you've never been to Midland, Texas, don't put it on your list. There's not much there. It's 117 degrees by 11 a.m. If you're in the oil business, it's going to be a great place for you. But I was down there, and I was selling roofs. And I met a gentleman one time who was an adjuster who said, you know what, this really sounds like a good fit for you. And it did. I went the next week. I got my license as a Texas All Lines adjuster and started building my resume from there. For those of you who don't know what a catastrophe adjuster is, they are essentially the second responders. After the police, after the firefighters, after the EMTs gone in, after a catastrophic event, Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Florence, so on and so forth, the adjusters and the mitigation teams start rushing in, FEMA included. So catastrophe adjusters have got really about 24 hours, sometimes less. I know I had less than 24 hours to go from Kansas City to meet up and stage in Maryland for Hurricane Sandy. If this had been a presentation, I'd be showing you some pretty amazing photos right now. One of those photos, though, I want to circle back for just a moment. In having that kind of responsibility, it can be a big weight on you as a person, much like it can be a big weight on you as entrepreneurs out here. You're building your business, and you're really living to work so you can get to a place where you can work to live. And it's important to have a good support team around you, and that's what we all strive to do. So from 2011 on, I was working as a catastrophe adjuster. Oh, thankfully I have that support system. No photo provided. So from 2011 on, all the way up to about 2016, I've been loosely designing this bag. And if anyone during that time was working at ABC Supply or Home Depot or something like that, I just apologize because I know I was in there just ransacking the joint looking for what came to be known as the BullyBag. It was during a hail catastrophe, actually here in St. Louis, that occurred in Earth City, St. Charles, the like, that I had the aha moment and moved to prototype. It took us from prototype all the way up until 2018, where we went into production. But Jared, really, what's with this name? What's with this name, BullyBag? Well, I'm a Marine. We're a veteran-owned business, and Marines love their bulldog. Going all the way back to Mr. Gibbs back in 1922, the bulldog has been the face of the United States Marine Corps. So we didn't know our name back in 2016. All we did know is we needed to build this to help people, and we were going to use the face of the bulldog as part of our branding. And it's worked out really, really good since. So fast forward, August 2018, we went to production. We sold over 2,500 units since then, and we are branching out. Now, it's important to say that we are staying in the niche. I don't know what business everyone is in here. You might be in a hyper-competitive business. You might be in a specific niche that is not so competitive. But if you're in a large industry business, the competition is ruthless. We want to stay in the niche. We can't, there's tool companies out there with hundreds of years of funding and experience behind them. We're good where we are. So where we are now is we are introducing new products, and we are pushing towards distribution and looking for those answers within the carriers and introductions that we can hopefully be made by presenting here at presentations such as 1 Million Cups.
That's it?
That's about what we got.
All right.
We're going to have a slideshow to show.
Please raise your hand and then yell at them questions, so it's more so the camera can pick you up. Does anyone have any questions? All right. Hey, this guy does. All right, Tom.
Jared, thank you for presenting. Thanks for being willing to punt it when the technology doesn't work. I know that's an extra big challenge. Can you clarify for me just what is the BullyBag? Who's
Yeah,
it
good
for,
point.
and what sets it apart from other such things?
Yeah, without my guiding light, so to speak, in my PowerPoint, I might have got a little off track. The BullyBag, in a pitch, if you will, is a high-speed, low-drag sales inspection pouch. I'm wearing one right now. It's 15 ounces in all. It has 12 pouches built into this 1680 ballistic nylon unit. It is incredibly versatile, and it is attached by using a paddle clip. So it's balanced. One of the challenges that you have, especially when you're out in the field, if you're doing roof sales, you're doing water mitigation, you're doing estimating, you're doing all of these jobs that require to bring the business in, one thing you can't have is a lot of inefficiency. And that's what I was dealing with for many years before I created this. The prototype of this was extremely rough, but it enabled me to be very successful during IRMA. So this is the BullyBag here. This is the BullyBag Ultra Pouch. We have it in 3 different versions. We've expanded beyond our BullyBag pouch into what'll be coming out next month, which is a tool pack, the Alpha Dog tool pack for electricians, datacom professionals, so on and so forth. So this is not your daddy's tool belt, though. We'll make that really clear. This is not your nail bag. This is if you're going to go install a roof, if you're going to go, put up siding, if you're going to do the installation of just about anything that way, this is not it. This is a way to compartmentalize your life and be more successful and professional doing it.
I'll take the next question. All right, so who would this really appeal to? You kind of spoke of your story, but who, and by extension, to whom are you trying to market it, and how are you marketing it? Right.
Yeah, good question. Our niche really is architects, field engineers, adjusters, both daily and catastrophe, flood adjusters to be included in that. Contractor sales, that's a real big success for us. Anytime this gets presented in front of anybody that goes out and has to bring in that type of work, they have to have it in their life. Project managers is a real big one. I'm sure I'm leaving out several. I've got a whole list on PowerPoint.
That's a fine list. How are you marketing to them?
Right now, we are marketing them through Facebook, online marketing, if you will, as well as we're part of a DKI network. And so DKI is a very large network throughout the U.S. that is like an answer, if you will. So if you are a water mitigation guy, and you're like, I need somebody that can do this, haul tires or whatever, they have the answer for it. And that's what they're there to do, is to solve that solution. So our industry tool solutions, what we do is to solve that solution for those people in the field. So we're marketing to DKI, we're marketing direct mailers, we're doing presentations like this, usually with the PowerPoint. And online has been really great, as well as doing trade shows. The conventions are fantastic. Those are absolutely fantastic. The difficult part, what we really need from One Million Cups is those connections for distribution. It's very, very difficult. It's a bit of an old boy system for that, and it's tough to get in unless you're a really big name.
Right. Seems like something like Granger or something like that
Right.
would be a perfect in.
Right.
Does anyone have a connection to Granger?
Right.
It's not an easy one to break into.
Yeah.
Over there?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, so what is the cold call to Granger like? Have you tried it? What is the cold call system? Because obviously I assume that's what you're doing. Or you want to enter MasterCard or Granger. What's it like? Are you just hit an operator and then that's it? Or, do you know about that process?
There's a couple ways. I'm personally not going to just call you up on the phone if you're, say, the manager of Granger, or a large conglomerate that has many, many branches, because the challenge is that, well, my son's godfather is a psychologist, and he's always told me, Jared, there's only 3 roles you can play: the victim, the persecutor, and the rescuer, right? So if you're, say, a landlord and you own the property, you're probably not going to tell your tenants that you own the property. You're going to say, well, I got to talk to my business partner, even if you don't have a business partner. So in those situations right there, whenever we do even meet the manager that can make those decisions, a lot of times they're just going to pass it up to corporate and say, well, we can't do it. And maybe they haven't known about it. Maybe they haven't seen it. You've seen it, you like it, you want to put it in there, you may have authority to do it, but you might be a bit pensive because you don't have corporate authority. So it's a bit of a challenge. There's a system called Range Me, and Range Me puts you in front of those distributors and those retailers and all that. We've started working that connection, but it's not pro bono. So yes.
Do you have one we can see?
Yeah, sure. I got an example right here.
My question is, did you ever think of patenting some of this stuff, or?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we have a patent on that. We have a patent pending on that. As well as our AccuLines flipboards. Sorry.
What was that like? Like, how long did it take from the start to finish?
We still don't have an answer. A friend of mine, we filed the patent 2 years ago. A friend of mine who received patent on his product said it took 4 years. So, we're just waiting in line.
Patents are tough.
Yeah, patents are really tough. But and as a bit of speaking, what I've found, especially in this business, that is hyper crucial to entrepreneurs that I think may kind of put it off as passé is trademarks. Trademarks are huge, especially in a product world.
Trademarks are probably more valuable than a patent.
Yeah, I think we have about 15 trademarks.
And how long does that take? Like, when you start?
Trademarks take about a year.
About a year?
Yeah, take about a year, 9 months to a year.
And the cost?
About 500, somewhere there, depending on your intellectual attorney, or intellectual property attorney. Yeah.
Josh?
So obviously there's that big hurdle of distribution. And I understand what you're talking about when you say old boy networks, because you're encountering large corporations that may have to go through 10 yeses without any no's to get an approval. So are there any new, novel, is there any innovation in the distribution of your market, or are there fringe market publications that might be, for example, thinking like Campmore Magazine? Maybe you might find your engineers are also big outdoor enthusiasts, and so maybe it's easier to get into a fringe market with a fringe publication than into your major. Any thoughts? So those are the questions: innovation and distribution, and are there fringe markets that might interest you?
Yeah. Maybe. And the reason I say maybe is because you can literally spend your entire production budget on advertising pretty easily. So getting in front of that ideal client is really important. So, there's Estimator magazine. There's Roofing Contractor magazine. We've sold, I think, 25 to the 3rd largest roofing contractor in the U.S. So that's just a matter of getting really, really in front of your ideal client. And for us, what we found is that's going to be our trade shows. Print marketing, it hasn't paid off for us. And as far back to the good old boy network, like you mentioned, that's really important. I was so determined to get in the world's largest. Okay, we ordered 10,000. We manufactured, OEM. Found our fabricator who makes the gunnery bags for the United States Marine Corps weaponry, reconnaissance weaponry bags. There we go. So we found him, found a connection. They're gonna fabricate it for us, and we put it all together. We had a soft yes from the world's largest, from 2 branches. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, we did the numbers. We got 1,100 branches. We're gonna need some inventory. So we pushed through that inventory, which I'm glad that we did, because one of the largest expenses you're gonna have in manufacturing is freight. But when it all came to pass, corporate hasn't said yes. So I drove myself up to Wisconsin on a Friday just to meet with the decision makers. And I wasn't able to do so. So in that situation with the good old boy network, what I'm saying is that if you've got XYZ bag and you've been around for who knows how many years, and we may have a product, or you may not even know about us, but what you want to do is you want to create exclusivity. You will literally pay that retailer millions with an S of dollars to just be exclusive every year. And that's what we're up against. That's why we're here. Good questions. Yes, sir.
What's the price point on the bag, and you said you're doing like online sales primarily. What are your online sales to date, like for direct inbound purchases?
Well, we sell both. We sell both at the website, bullybag.com, as well as on Amazon, and we've sold north of 2,500 units after receiving them August 26th, 2018. So not awesome, not terrible.
Yeah.
So our price point, sorry, is the BullyBag Ultra Pouch with the paddle is $85.
What is your total available market? And like, do you have a reasonable like growth estimate? Like maybe you're actually like hitting what's expected of your market share.
No, I don't think so. Ideally, even if we don't have distribution, all we need to do is be in front of Tom, who's the procuring agent for one of the top 10 insurance companies. Do you see what I mean? We don't need to be in a big box store. We need to be in front of those decision makers. And once they see it, it's a done deal.
So have you driven to State Farm in Bloomington, Illinois?
I have not driven up there. I worked at State Farm Claims for many years. I have those contacts pretty far up the chain, but it's kind of an uncomfortable call. You know, especially in a fiduciary-based business like that, with money, you know, privacy, things like that. It's pretty tight-lipped kind of thing. So, still haven't figured out how to make that phone call.
Sometimes the best way to just do it.
Yeah, I may have to. I very well may have to. And especially with the Acculine Flipboard. Acculine is the brand. I'll show you this here. This is our Acculine Flipboard. Acculine is a brand, been around since 1966. This comes in several different versions. This is our straight line draw side. You can hear it kind of etches a little bit. And what that allows you to do is to be able to go out in the field. Maybe you're sketching an interior loss. I've had a lot of large losses, millions of dollars. And that allows you to draw a straight line without a ruler. It also allows you to flip it over and use it as a standard clipboard for taking your notes. That is patent pending. The price point on that is $19.95. Indestructible, classic. I mean, I've almost thought about doing an online contest. Anybody that can snap it.
Have you tried getting into like engineering schools, that kind of stuff, working through that? I mean, it seems like
that's a good idea.
I mean, it seems like going to Raleigh would be an easy one. You know, start talking to them. You might have to give away a bunch. It's the drug dealer model. Give away some for free, and get them hooked.
That's pretty brilliant, actually.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking get people while they're educating, while they're tricking.
No, absolutely.
If there's an adjuster school, something like that, that might be the way to do it. So they think, well, that's what you get.
Yeah, the adjuster schools, things of that nature. I run one, have ran one, I should say. We are in the top, probably 1 or 2 And we've got a lot of raving fans that teach Xactimate. Stephen Harmon, he's probably the nation's largest Xactimate trainer, which Xactimate is for those who don't know, is the platform that's used for creating a claim. So it provides you the price, the dimensions, so on and so forth. That's where you put it into. And so those persons fall underneath our extreme target market. So that works out really good as well. But really, in order to make the big push, we need to be in front of those procuring agents. Yeah. But Rolla is a great idea, for sure.
All right, any other questions?
2,500 is quite a few. Do you have like any of the data of like what those customers look like from Amazon or like from your own website, as far as like maybe, because I know on Amazon you're able to check like what people who purchased your product, what their past purchases are, or if you have any kind of form in your website that says how did you hear about us, or what do you do, what are you purchasing it for, just to kind of get a much better understanding of like who the ideal person is.
We haven't done that on Amazon, but I like where your head's at on that. It's a great idea. We do have how did you hear about us on the website when they make their order, of course, and most of that comes from word of mouth. Interestingly enough, the big word out there really is that, I mean, honestly, Facebook doesn't. I mean, it can pay off, but it doesn't really. It's not the greatest. You need to be in front of you. You need to see it, touch it, feel it, wear it, and once you do it, it's done. Yeah. Good, great input there.
Anything else?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I have tons of questions. So if you had like $1 million and you sold equity, what would you do with it? What if you could just add more capital to your structure? Would it make a big difference in your profit?
Well, I mean, there's an old saying about that. I don't have one problem that money can't fix. But I think it would, because then it would be able to add some really extreme high experienced and knowledgeable outside salespersons. The people that, I know Joe down the street, I got this kind of thing. So yeah, that would make a difference. But those outside salespersons come pretty big ticket.
All right. Anybody else? Any more questions? Nope. Far away.
This is more like an advice, maybe.
Sure.
Based upon, I've been in the real estate business for about 20 years, and I've done a lot of contracting work and dealt with a lot of contractors for 20 years. And I think that's really cool. Have you looked at making it look a little like, have you looked at kind of making it look a little more fashionable? Because even contractors want to look good while they're wearing whatever they're wearing. If you look at their work belts, I think one of the reasons why it's been around, and you can find some that are leather and for suede, and it's because it looks cool. It's like if you think of Batman kind of, so it's kind of like you got all these things on there kind of way. So I'm wondering if you're looking at that and trying to make it more like not just in the workflow, but also every day. Because I just looking at that, I can give you some free advice on maybe what you can just tweak it a little bit so that it doesn't always look like it's a utilitarian kind of thing.
I get it. Yeah, that's good feedback. We're actually working on one right now where the binding, the outer edges, we're going to do that in a candy pink for a more fashionable approach. But as far as different colors, and making it more fashionable, that's something that you do on Gen 2. So yeah, that's
I think also
a thought in the works, but in the first launch, you want to get it out there.
Because then I also think your logo is a little bit harder to read on the back, so it's kind of you don't know if it's you don't really know what it is. I think if you were to do a little bit of branding, like maybe color, some kind of color that's kind of identifiable to your business, that might mean something. But otherwise, it's kind of hard to decipher what it is. Like if I saw it out in the contracting world, and I wouldn't know where it's from, or how it works, or to have a conversation about it. That's part of sometimes the branding is sort of a conversation. Oh, I know what that's like, I know what that does, and I like kind of things. So you kind of sort of make a conversation piece, make it more functional in terms of, for work or for jogging. Like, I know it's a little long, so I was thinking you could put a little bit of Velcro so that it kind of comes up, and then you can run with it, instead of just carrying a lot of heavy stuff. And I mean, I can see the convenience part, which is really cool, but if you could kind of then raise it up so it goes to your waist, you know what I mean? Like a fanny pack, it would be like it would kind of get up,
Well, that may be answered in another variation. Okay, we've got, a Babson, which is one where it feeds through your belt. You take your own belt and feed it through, or as well as the Bandit belt system, which is fantastic. That hasn't launched yet. We're still waiting on one component. So the fashionability side of it, that'll come with on Gen 2. Yeah, good feedback.
Very cool. All right, thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you.